So, this is me and my friend Angrod going for a ride to the state of Indiana to pick up what I believe to be one of the either first or second to be owned by a collector, if you will, 48 Carrier. So, a little backstory is, I believe the kid's name was Josh. Real nice guy. I never met him, but he's always seemed nice on the phone and whatnot. Wasn't able to get it, couldn't transport it, and la-di-da-di-da. Understandable. So instead of letting it go to the wayside, he put the feeler out to, anyone else that wanted it. It's cool. So I said I'd make a deal with the gentleman. His name's Matt as well. This is funny. Set it up, hop in the car. It's 5 hours one way. So, all right, let's do it. Got up early, got rolling, and I was pleasantly surprised when I got there to see how, frankly, for its age, nice a shape it is. It's not rusty, the case isn't beat the hell and back, nothing like that. Turns out it's a 230 volt, 230 volt, 1 horsepower R12 unit. Super cool. And I actually got a bonus unit, which you'll see later in the video, is a 16,000 BTU Hotpoint Superline, which it's some assembly required, but it gives me creative freedom to customize and upgrade it as I will. One of these days, when I get some other projects like Russ's Emerson radio done, which I'll just keep him waiting. That's fine. So I'll stop rambling and enjoy the time lapse. What's happening, people? Yeah, this is for those that are on the AC page on Facebook. This is what me and Angrod drove, I call it 10.5 hours, all said and done, to in the state of Indiana and back. I believe this is a 48 Carrier, and it's a very early Superline that it lives up to the Super Russ name, let me just tell you. What's weird about this one is it was like someone was pulling it apart to scrap it. You see the controls are loose. The condenser is cut out of it along with the compressor, but everything was there, of course, but the stinking grill. And that's 16,000 BTUs. The freaking coil is 3 layers. It's impressive. So yeah, if the compressor's good, I'll probably put that one back together eventually. And maybe might be able to use the grill off my other Super Thrust. Just, if I'm using one, I don't want to use the other. Whatever, it's all good. That's another project for way down the road. But the main star of the show is this guy. Now, I'm trying to think. I knew of 2 of these. One went down with a house probably 4 or 5 years ago. RIP, I know. There's another one that's half hour from me, and they won't sell it. They specifically told me they're not for sale, and that was it. That's all the answer I can get out of them. But it's, literally this design of the case and everything. So when I had the opportunity to get this, of course I had to take it. Why not? So this flavor, she's a 1 horse compressor, 230 volt unit. 230, it'll run on both. R12 to boot. See how good of a shot you can get there. So for now, sorry, I'm not taking a grill out of the wrapping. But wood grain, I'll post some pictures. Probably at the end, either at the beginning or the end of the video. You might see them before this or after this. of the said grill out of the thing. Better pictures of that and whatnot. So we are plugged in. Sketchy wiring, check. Let's see here, because I'm going to be very weary that the star components are still good. Not saying they can't be, but very weary. So let's see here. That's evaporator fan. And not enough to make it around that. Well, I will use my ears and do my due diligence. Yeah, trying to see here what else. So unfortunately, it looks like I'll be surprised if this still has a charge in it, simply because you can see all the oil around the valve plate on the compressor. So I'll have to pull that off, change that, do an oil change, and probably check the reads and whatever else. Let's see here. What else? Dirty condenser. Very much a check. So that tag you guys may have seen there if you could read it. These are permanently lubricated motors. But look at this. Now let me tell you, this blade, that thing got some weight to it. That one's free as a bird. And that guy too. So let's see here. I believe it says off. So this is exhaust here. Oh yeah. Little fan gets her done, let me tell you. So condenser fan is good. Oh yeah. Check that out. Sorry. Saw a squirrel there, got my attention distracted. I got too much crap on my mind and whatnot. It's actually chain driven to the switch. How cool is that? And here is this damper here. I mean, you figure that's the return side. There's your fresh air discharge. That's effective. Like, that will truly pinch the room air off and pull strictly outside air in. Which, I mean, you got all kind of. That's actually effective. So that's pretty darn neat. There we go. So let's see here. I'll go back to exhaust. See if I can make out. Oh yeah, it's just that leaf down there. Hard to tell. It might be like a dryer or something right here. So I believe the next one is cooling. No shit. I know I'm daring touching this, but it is technically grounded. Let's see here, it's my discharge. I am feeling heat, no crap. Wow, I'm surprised I'm feeling heat there. Cap tubes are cold, which these are something you want. This is actually freezing cold, and it's sweating too. Look at that. So it's a single layer coil, obviously, but relatively thick, I might say. And if Ken Horon sees this, I know it's 1 horsepower. I'd be curious what the closest advertised BTU capacity is, which to me this seems more along the lines of maybe 10 to 12,000 if I'm gonna, you know, guess here, considering how big the condenser is. 1 layer, but it's a pretty big 1 layer evaporator coil. Yeah, it's starting to freeze up there. I pulled my hand back, something not electrically wise, but something sharp bit me in there. Let's see here. You know what? I eat my words. The compressor started and it's running. Next to no air flowing through it. Yeah, I mean, it's low ambient, don't get me wrong, outside, but it's definitely low. But that's all right. I'm happy to see that there's still stuff in the system to kind of keep the system from going atmospheric. There might be a little something way down here in the bottom, but nothing to write home about. I will say this, if this plate was on in a window or a wall totally sealed off, you would not hear that. This fan is silent. And all things considered, moves actually a decent amount of air, not gonna lie. So I think I still have the wall bracket in the car, which is neat. There it is. So the gentleman I got this off of, a very nice guy, his name's Matt. He is a collector of hit and miss motors and old bicycles. He just loved the fact that there was people out there that wanted these. He didn't want to see this go to the scrapyard. He wasn't going to let it, but he didn't have a ton of room, and he was getting into, I believe, the 60s. So obviously this is not the easiest unit to move. It kind of had to go. So I went and bought it. But the week beforehand, he wanted a video, wanted to see, what other units I had, just because it'd be neat. So I had sent him a couple storage unit videos, and I had picked out like some of the old brackets I had, I think for my Silhouette and whatnot. Well, when he went back to the house that this came out of, he actually found that sitting outside the old bracket. So like it paid off, by coincidence, to show him the videos, because I now have the original bracket. And I don't have to make something. I can make this look like it did in, I think, 48. So I think that's the coolest thing ever. Matt, I hope you get to watch this when I'm done editing it all together. So let's see here. That's cool. What's this one? That must be, okay, just fan. So yeah, there's how quiet that indoor fan is. That's lovely, that's fine. Oh, that thing's still spinning. Yeah, there's a little bit of a, one or two blades got a bit of a kick to them. So I have to get balanced in. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it got some heat in it. How about that? I mean, obviously there's all the start components, relay and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, this thing's, to me, it's cool as all get out, just because of what it is. The outside case design is certainly one of the best designs. I'm trying to tell what that is down there. Liquid line comes into it, line out to the evaporator. What's weird is it comes up. Okay, so it hits this guy. We got a cap tube here and a cap tube there. So I see there's maybe a suction line. That might be like a de-superheater? I don't know, yeah, possibly. Interesting. Let's see, might be a little soon here. That's amazing. Add this to the pile of, yeah, I'd love to use it one day. Go figure. So, alrighty folks, I'm happy I seen it run. Now it gets to go hibernate some more in my trailer. So, almost forgot. Let me turn this back off. So a little bit of a backstory is, this unit was bought brand new, installed in the one house for a gentleman that had gotten sick. Obviously, you know, from I think 48. It was used up till about the 70s, till the gentleman passed away, and it was placed in the garage on a shelf. And it sat from the 70s all the way till 2 weeks ago on the same shelf. Not plugged in, not messed with, none of it. Only reason I know how that much of the backstory is because Matt, the previous owner, was a paper boy that would go around to each house and whatnot, delivering papers. And since he was, you know, a collector of sorts from beans, you know, inquire about things and this and that, I'd assume. And he got to know the people and, you know, just, you know, remembered that it had got placed there. So fast forward to, like, I think the mid-90s, he acquired the place. Again, hasn't touched it, hasn't touched anything else in the house. It sits, and he's now going to sell the place, and that is why it is now sitting here in the back of my car. So, yeah. He was a fantastic dude. Couldn't thank him enough on how smooth it was. Super helpful and kept things for me. All the little hardware. Like, he even found a tub, which is weird, of hardware and the missing knob for that. So, riddle me that one. Yeah. So, all right, people. I'll see ya.